Hello and welcome to the 23rd episode of Lost Art of Conversations with your host Joe
and Paul.
Paul, it took a while to get some dust off these mics and these cameras.
I'm not going to lie, it was dusting all morning. It had cobwebs.
It had cobwebs. Did you get rid of those cobwebs?
I think so. We could check it out.
all joking aside, it's been a long time. It's been actually, I was looking at the our information from the past that we keep on our computers, and it's been about a year and 2 months.
Oh my God, a year.
More than a year.
Holy.
So
wow.
The thing is that like life, we get busy, right?
100%.
And we're constantly like trying to work around our own schedules and of course our kids' schedules.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy.
A lot has happened in a year. We've moved houses. So I don't know if anyone notices the background of this podcast, but it's completely changed and we're in a cramped room right now.
Yeah, it's cramped.
It took an hour to set it up.
Paul's sitting on some lumber right now.
There's a piece of wood and an extra pillow on this chair because it's too low.
Yeah. So for this episode, since it's like a return episode, etc., I decided to maybe just talk about some things that have been on my mind. Some like what I would say are like hot topics.
Hot topics.
But the thing is that like I think they're hot topics, right?
I'm gonna find out if they're hot topics.
I mean, Paul doesn't know what the topics are. I
have no idea.
Paul might say that they're lukewarm after this. I'm not sure how.
This is a usual case, though. Joe presents something. I have no idea what the podcast is going to be about, and then we just talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I got about 6 or 7 topics, 6, 7, as the kids would say. And like I said, I think they're hot topics. They're topics that have been on my mind. I'm gonna just like introduce each topic. I have a little blurb to kind of introduce it, just to get Paul So
am I gonna like discuss the topic after?
We'll talk about it. We'll go back and forth, right?
Let's do it.
So because it's hot topics, today's podcast title is "Drop It Like It's Hot."
Wow, bring it back an oldie.
Yeah, exactly. So topic 1. Okay, so the thing is that we've kind of talked about this in the past, but I think it's becoming something that like is more on everybody's mind these days. So AI. Do you use it? Will there be any jobs left? From smart assistants to ChatGPT to robots flipping burgers. AI is not just coming, Paul. It's already here.
It's definitely here.
Are we adapting or are we in trouble?
Okay, so I use it every day.
Okay.
Do you use it every day?
I don't know if I use it every day, but we'll talk about that in a moment.
Well, ChatGPT I use every day. I can't think anymore. I just ask it every day.
Okay.
To be honest.
So give me some examples. Like okay, you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Right?
So to be honest, I don't use Google anymore. I don't search anything. Yeah. I just ask questions to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it answers me right away.
Okay.
Anything. It's what do I want for breakfast this morning? Gives me breakfast ideas and I make the breakfast. Yeah. Lunch, dinner, same thing. Workouts, right? So I'm like, okay, program or ask ChatGPT what my workout of the week is going to be, and it plans my workout schedule.
So basically what you're saying too is that it not only is it replacing like Google searches, but would you say that it's also replacing apps?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it scrapes data from everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. And if you notice, when it does a search query, you see little website icons that it's searching from. It picks specific websites to look at and then gives you the information.
See, you must be paying for it because my cheap
I'm paying for it. Yeah. It's pretty impressive to be honest. I don't know where this is going to go, but in the past year, since I think we did talk about AI in one episode over a year ago, and the progress is phenomenal that they've made. Like it's crazy how like a geometric progress in how advanced it's become in such a short time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so like the way I use it is like right now I've been trying to watch what I eat. I've been trying to like exercise more, etc. So I'm logging my food items on there. In the past, I used to
use
it
remember
an app.
What you're logging?
Sorry?
Does it remember what you're logging on there?
Yeah, so I keep that conversation open. So I actually just learned that from my sister because I'm like, oh, this is so annoying.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to something I told to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And she's like, just go back to a previous conversation. And I'm like,
yeah, so it remembers now.
Yeah. So it remembers your previous conversations. It keeps it there in the background. And so I go to it. I say, okay, this is what I ate this morning. I upload a picture of like my exercise from like that's being tracked by my Apple Watch, right? And then I'm like, and I actually say, how am I doing so far?
and it's always going to say you're doing well.
But it
encouragement.
It actually gives me some feedback.
Yeah,
and it's like a conversation I'm having with AI.
Yeah, so it's another person that you could communicate with.
That's scary,
but it's very smart, and it knows everything.
Yeah,
I use it as an assistant, to be honest, for work. Any documents that are very long that you just want to summarize, it'll summarize it instantly. I say, get the main points of this contract or this whatever document it is, spills it right there in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to read it.
Of course.
But just to get an idea, if somebody wants you to review something quickly, you put it in there and it knows exactly what it is. It gives you the main points, and then you can get it to elaborate on it and even give you a solution if there's a problem or you see something wrong with it. Yeah. They can adjust it and give you suggestions on how to make it better. So it's honestly it's another employee, to be honest.
Yeah, it really is.
And some people it's another friend.
Yeah, well,
right?
But it's kind of scary, right? Because I'm a social person. I have friends. You have friends. People who don't have friends, they might get really addicted very quickly.
But I think they are already
having conversations with AI.
I think they're going to get too addicted to it. Okay, I saw you're talking about robotics and AI, right? Yeah. I don't know if I sent it to you, but there was, I think it's Tesla Motors. They have that robot guy, that robot that it's, started out as just like some choppy robot motion, things like that. Now, if you look at it, there was a recent video that it's dancing to different songs, and it's so fluid like a person. And it's not an AI generated video. It's the robot itself. And I couldn't believe it. I said, this is crazy. And this is now. So imagine in 5, 6, 7, 10 years, there's going to be these robots that are like intelligent, and hopefully they don't take over.
Yeah. Well, my problem is what happens if like you play the wrong song and the robot gets pissed at you?
Maybe it will.
Yeah.
I've heard some stories where AI, if you keep pushing it, it'll talk back to you that, in a way that's a normal person will. It's getting frustrated.
Yeah.
You're sensing emotions now that it's slowly coming out. It's kind of crazy.
The thing that I find funny too is that there's a lot of people that say that they don't use AI, but I think like we don't even realize sometimes that we're using AI. Like we're already hooked. Like if you're watching Netflix and they're suggesting stuff, that's AI.
That's AI. Yeah.
If you go into your car, you turn on your phone, and the phone says you're probably driving to work right now.
Yeah.
And it suggests a travel plan. Well, that means that's AI working.
They've incorporated it into pretty well every software.
Yeah.
Lately, because it's the new thing. If software companies don't incorporate some kind of AI, they're going to fall behind, or they're going to dissolve probably.
Yeah.
So they have to incorporate the new generation. But it is kind of scary because, how does it affect the future generation of kids and, things like that?
That was my next talking point. I was going to say, so AI can write, it can code, it can draw.
Yeah,
and it can and it drives.
And it drives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what jobs are going to be left for actual people in 10 years?
I don't know. Tradespeople. I don't know.
Until that gets taken over too.
Yeah, because if you have these robots that could, do manual labor, I don't know. It's going to be a little scary.
Well,
it is.
like so I got into.
What I was going to say, I think that AI is going to be, if you don't know how to use it as a tool.
Yeah.
You're going to fall behind. So
100%.
Those are the jobs that are going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to be jobs where you're a master at using the AI to the advantage of whatever it is that you're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's going to be limited amounts.
Yeah, but you're saying that, okay, they're going to just take over and it's done.
Well, they are, right?
Because humans are done.
No, but okay, Paul, but like how many, okay, so for years, even in school, we've been pushing coding, right?
Yeah, okay.
So now, what's the point of going into coding as an occupation if a computer can code something
that
in
might
like
be a little...
500th of a time that a human being can.
Yeah.
Who's going to go and hire a human being to do that?
Yeah, no, it's okay. Here's an example. I started to do some, on the side, some programming.
Yeah.
I had a website a long time ago, and I said, let me see what it is. I started to do some coding.
Yeah.
Okay. So usually, or when I did it back then, I would go on Google, search an answer.
Yeah.
I would go to different websites, Reddit, or there was something called Stack Overflow, I think it's called. Yeah, Stack Overflow, where they give you coding answers. But then I would have to research it all. It would take hours just to find a solution to a problem. So now, a few weeks ago, I started it again. I had a question. I said, how do I do this? I was going to research it. I asked ChatGPT, I said, how do you program this? In 1 second, he gave me the answer. Yeah. I literally copied and pasted it into the code, and it worked.
Yeah.
It saved me hours of time. So, to your point, eventually you're not going to have to do any of that. It's just going to say, and I think they have it now, where you could just say, program me this website or program me this app, and it'll do it. And you can literally launch it on the App Store.
Okay, so then at the end, that's what I'm saying. So basically what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot less jobs. It's the jobs.
That's for sure. I agree with that.
So then what are these people going to be doing? See, like I'm an extremist sometimes.
They're going to be doing this.
Yeah. No, so I'm an extremist sometimes. It's bad to say. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. I try to look at the overall picture. Sometimes I look at like extreme, what's going to happen. Yeah. Right. And my thing is that I feel like in a few years, there is going to be so many people out there that don't have jobs, that society is going to be just like a small percentage of people that are elitist. Mm-hmm. So it's like those people have access to like owning the companies that are using the AI, etc. And then everyone else is going to be down here. Yeah. And then what's going to happen is that like, what is the government going to do? They're going to say, well, like there's no jobs for everyone. So everyone's going to make the same money. Everybody's going to get this loaf of bread this week.
Yeah, communism now.
2 bottles of water.
Okay, so here's a question then. Well, I think, won't it be just like how we are now with just a different people or a different set of... So AI will be a people after.
Yeah.
Just a different set of people that the government is just going to try to regulate everything, regulate all these people. The question is, can you control the AI? Yeah. Can you tell it what to do? And you say, no, you can't do that because, we're told kind of, we have restrictions within our countries and all that. Say, okay, you could do this, you can't do that. Is that going to happen? Or are they just going to say, I'm your master now and I'm going to take over? AI, I mean, is that what's going to happen?
I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. And like the other component of it too is like, do you think like, okay, AI, are they really going to be able to replace like artists, writers, teachers? Like, are we underestimating what makes humans valuable?
Yeah, I agree. Because I think that you were saying artists and things like that. So my daughter's an artist. She paints and all, very talented, right? So what I think though, it's going to be more valuable because an AI can create it, but it's going to be more valuable for a person at that point to create something. Yeah. From scratch, right?
The emotional integrity, just everything.
If it's coming from a person, I think it's going to be, again, more valuable than some machine making it. Yeah. You think AI is just going to be, they can probably recreate that with AI right 100%. Now. But you think that's valuable?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think there's value there.
See, but that really has to do, I think, with what your own...
What your perception of value is. So is it going to be like an NFT? Yeah. Where, AI created it, so now it's unique. Yeah, to that, well, the uniqueness and the talent behind it.
Well, that's the thing. Like even for teaching, right? So like I'm hearing stories about how there's already some places in the world that have like kids are just sitting in front of computers, like they're being told what to learn, etc. from AI. They're learning from AI, and then there's just like a teacher or two walking around supervising like hundreds of kids, and like what? That's going to be teaching now all of a sudden. Like you're taking away the human component, right? Like so, if there's issues between kids, right? Like a teacher steps in, there's a teachable moment, right?
There's definitely like an emotion thing, I think that AI can't do right now. But they're saying, I've read some things where they're saying, they're starting to sense emotion, but it's not the same. Like, I don't think it's good.
But it's scary. Okay, so with that being said, like my final talking point with AI was, so AI writes your emails, it finishes your sentences. What happens when it starts thinking for us?
That's a problem.
Yeah.
It does that now, though.
Yeah.
It thinks, right? That's the whole point of it, I think, right?
Well, it predicts what you're going
Right.
to do
Right.
based on what you've said to it in the past.
Yeah.
And just like I said, you get into the car.
It doesn't forget anything.
It doesn't forget anything, right?
So I don't know.
It's like a wife.
Listen, they don't forget.
Yeah.
No, listen, time will tell.
Yeah.
And time is getting shorter, it looks like.
Yeah.
The time frame of the advancement of AI is getting shorter by the day. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go, to be honest. We gotta wait and see.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary. Let's start topic 2. So topic 2, Paul, fireworks every weekend.
Oh man.
Remember when fireworks were special? Now
Right.
it's like every weekend someone's backyard turns into a low budget Disney World.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing.
Except with more screaming.
Yeah, with more screaming. But is that even allowed?
Well, that's my question.
So what happened? Like, is it okay? Around where we are, it
Yeah.
seems like that's the case. Every weekend, there's some kind of fireworks or something going on.
Yeah.
And it could be like 2 or 3. Maybe some kids screwing around.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there's literally a celebration of some kind every weekend. So what kind of celebrations are going on?
So like, yeah, well, that's the thing. So like the talking points I had about this are like what are people celebrating, the safety around it, and laws and accessibility, right? So like when it comes to like what people are celebrating, right? Like I remember the day when it used to be just national holidays.
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It would be something special,
Yeah.
and you would celebrate it with some fireworks.
Yeah.
Now they do it at weddings. They do it at
Paul.
barbecues.
They do it at it's my birthday. Hey,
Yeah,
I just got engaged. Hey guys, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Let's
hey guys,
fire.
I went through the whole night and I didn't have to go pee.
yeah. Let's celebrate with fireworks.
Let's celebrate with some fireworks.
Yeah, but do you think cops show up to those days and say, "Guys, what are you doing here?"
No,
They don't. They just let it happen.
It's dangerous for cops too. People are unpredictable.
Yeah,
They
I know.
do stupid things.
Honestly, it's first of all, maybe there should be a rule or some kind of license you need to operate these fireworks, because a lot of people don't even know, and they're screwing around with them.
Yeah,
and a lot of people get injured. I've seen videos where some of the Roman candles.
Yeah,
they hold them in their hands and they're shooting out of their
shooting at
hands.
each other. They think it's funny.
They think it's funny, and then something catches on fire, and then what? Or it goes into somebody's house by accident.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
But it's happening all the time. We went to go see fireworks once at a plaza, and people were shooting fireworks at each other.
Yeah.
The problem is that like kids, especially, they think they're invincible, right?
Yeah.
Like they play these games where like they spawn.
Okay,
right?
so
like it's like, oh, I have a second life.
Yeah.
Guess what?
You
the only
don't.
person in history that's ever spawned is Jesus.
That's right. So
it's true, right?
and it wasn't with fireworks.
And it wasn't with fireworks.
That's
right.
funny.
But the whole point is that where are the parents too?
Yeah. The parents buy the fireworks.
That's
right, and then they
ridiculous.
store them.
Are you buying fireworks for your son Marcus and saying, Marcus,
here,
park
go
with your
play
friend
and shoot people with it? Yeah. Okay. No, but like I said, there should be some kind of a simple test you do online for fire safety or something like that, or firework safety on how to handle it.
Yeah.
Like you have to do it with everything else.
Well, sure.
Right? You want to handle a propane tank? On a job site, on a construction site, you got to know, you have to be certified, right?
Well, maybe
you want to drive a car,
it
you
shouldn't
got to
be for personal use.
Maybe not, but
why can't you just go somewhere?
Then you're restricting people from celebrating at their house.
Yeah, but why can't they celebrate? Why does it have to be with fireworks?
It's true. They could just have cake.
Yeah. I'm okay with cake.
Cake is better.
Right. Why do we have to
honestly, I think fireworks are overrated, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you've seen it so often, or we have anyway.
Yeah.
It's even if you go to like Wonderland, Tennis Wonderland. Okay, they do fireworks, they do some extravagant thing, which is nice, right? But people's houses, you see like this one firework go up in the air, and it's like boom, okay. Yay! Now what?
Paul,
nobody's celebrating.
It's funny that you're saying that because that's going to come into like one of my other topics later. But look, the thing is like I said, the safety is a big thing.
No, you know what they have now in lieu of fireworks, or in addition to, they have drone shows.
Are you
have you seen that? Yeah.
No.
So if instead of fireworks, or again, in addition to it, they do fireworks, and then they do a drone show where there's programmed drones, like hundreds of them in the sky, that are synchronized into this kind of a show, and they're all lit up and everything. That's ridiculous. Amazing. But they can show pictures in the sky.
Oh my god!
Like horses and constellations, things like that. But it's drones. Now I don't know if that's safe. What if something? They have been cases where they've fallen out of the sky.
Of course, yeah. But it's ridiculous though, right? The thing is that like my worry is that like, okay, so if I'm at home and I hear fireworks, right? That means that there's people in the area around my house that have had their hands on fireworks the last couple of days. So what I worry about is if I send my kids to the park, some of those kids are at the park a day, 2 days later, and it's happened because recently at one of our holidays, the May 2-4 weekend, like my son said, like 2 days after the fireworks that people were having, whatever, some kid went to the park. It was like just an afternoon on a Monday or a Tuesday, and they shot a firework at some random kid that was just minding their own business.
Yeah, that's not. See, how do you regulate that?
The kid's in grade 5.
Yeah, no.
But the question is, how does a grade 9 or grade 10 kid have fireworks in their hands?
But you know when things are going to change? When something happens.
Yeah, but things are happening, Paul.
I know, but when somebody dies from this guy, that's when people say, "Oh, wait a sec. You know what?
I disagree with you.
I don't know.
I disagree with you. You know when things are going to change? When something happens to somebody important.
Okay. That's what I mean.
If it just happens,
if it's in the news where it's like, some celebrity got hit by a let's change it.
Then it's going to be a big issue. Yeah. Then it's going to be like, we got to make some like changes because Madonna just got struck by a firework. Yeah. Right?
Madonna.
People listen to this podcast.
She probably gets hit by fire. she sprays things out of her outfit anyway.
Yeah, I know. Right? But and then the other thing too is like, Paul, I know like you have multiple dogs.
Multiple.
Yeah, if it was up to you, you have 6 or 7.
Not more than 2.
Yeah, but so like, what about the dogs, right? Their anxiety, the animals, right? It's
dog's anxiety. My dog has. She shakes up like she's shaking for everything.
I walked to the door today and she was like at the top of the stairs shaking.
Yeah, she's like a little rat, right? Yeah. But what about to do with fireworks?
Yeah, like the fireworks are happening every weekend before.
Oh, they bark at them.
Yeah, so you used to know, hey, it's a weekend where there's going to be fireworks. I can like chill with my dog, relax my dog, or I can warn my kids, or I can like be around my newborn baby because if the fireworks are going to bother, right? But like you can't do that now because it's unpredictable.
No, now it's my dogs too. We put them in one room in the house.
Yeah,
any slight movement.
Yeah.
Anything, any sound, anything, they bark.
Yeah.
And they're little tiny dogs that yap, right? So fireworks, especially around here, it's just, like you said, every weekend.
Yeah.
So I can't sleep anymore.
Yeah.
On those weekends.
Yeah, exactly.
Mostly in the summer, obviously. Yeah. In the winter, there's snowplows. Yeah. Right? So there's always something distracting from sleep. But I don't know, man. It's I think they should say, if it's not a national holiday, or you're only allowed to do it on these days.
Well, which they do. They have bylaws, but the problem is
they don't
that,
care. It looks
like people get around the bylaws. Or what they do is they mass buy them when they're being sold.
Right.
And they just
use them whatever. Yeah.
They hold on to them for other times. Yeah. Right? Because just before a holiday, you'll see like a random truck. I'm wondering who gave this person the license?
Where did they get these fireworks?
Yeah, and where did this random guy come from? Is this his job? Yeah. Or like, does he just on the side when it's fireworks day? I'm gonna be
like,
giving
you know what? Instead of hot dogs, I'm gonna sell fireworks.
Well, because if the majority of their business is coming from fireworks and they only can sell them at a certain time of year, right? Maybe there's gonna be more of a desire for them to sell it to someone that shouldn't be buying them because of the fact that they need the extra income.
They need the money. They're salesmen.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, here, take it.
Yeah.
That's it. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So, anyways, it makes me nervous personally.
Yeah.
And there's no point of calling in and your local government and saying, there's somebody shooting fireworks, whatever. By the time they get there, it's done, and they're not even going to send anyone. No,
they don't even know.
Right.
And it's honestly,
it's not worth it.
Maybe it's not worth the taxpayer dollars to regulate that kind of thing right now. Again, until something happens.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Paul, let's talk about topic 3. Topic 3 is self-serve everything.
Oh man,
is it progress or just plain lazy? We've got self-serve checkout, self-serve gas, self-serve kiosk. It's convenient until the machine doesn't work, and now you're doing the job that someone used to get paid for.
So I was just gonna say, self-serve, you're not serving yourself, because there's always somebody standing there watching you.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong at let's say the grocery or Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay. There's always somebody hovering over your back, shoulder,
Yeah.
breathing on your neck. Say,
they're assuming you're stealing.
make sure you're they assume you steal.
Yeah.
Their job is to make sure you don't steal stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody seems to steal stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but the machine never works properly because people can't figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
Scan your item, put it on the tray.
Yeah.
On the weight scale.
Yeah.
First of all, that's a disaster because that thing is so tiny.
Sensitive.
No, but it's so tiny you can't put everything you bought on there, right? Unless you have like 3 items, don't go to self-checkout.
Yeah.
If you have like 100 items, where are you going to put them?
Yeah.
As soon as you take something off of that weight scale or whatever that is, oh, no, something's wrong. Wait for the attendee. At that time, you could have been done already if you just went to somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's not many, like, okay, so like you used Walmart as an example. Last time I went to Walmart, there was 2 regular cashiers open.
Yeah.
And then everything else was self-checkout. Now, I heard a rumor that Walmart was going to remove self-checkout because they were losing so much money.
When we went the other day, there was double the amount now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, 1 or 2, what do they call them?
Like regular cashiers.
Right? I don't know what they call them.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's
I don't know.
Tellers. No, tellers is the bank.
Tellers is the bank. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of it's a hit and miss right now. I think they've revised it so many times that they still can't get it.
But is it really okay? So my question is it really about saving time, or is it about companies saving money?
It's about companies saving money.
Yeah.
Okay, but the question is, how much do they pay for that terminal that does that?
No, but over the long run,
okay,
it's one cost, and then they got to fix it every once in a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
They got to fix it. They still have to hire a person to hover around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Is it time or money? Is it both? Like,
I don't know. It's a struggle, but I find that it's annoying. I when I go into a place, I start to question myself. I'm like, okay, this time I have cash. Like, can I go with cash to that self-serve? Okay. Then another thing is that I gotta buy a gift card, and someone has to put like the code into the thing. So do I have to go to a regular like human being?
There's too many questions to answer. You just want to get your stuff, check out, and go.
Exactly.
So you're going to pick the most convenient way to do it.
Yeah.
I think the older people, I've seen them in the self-checkout lines.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like that in like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
We're not going to know what's going on either.
Well, because I mean, it's slowly, they're just going from like, at the beginning, they just wanted you to bag your own groceries.
Yeah.
Then they're like, bring your own bag.
First, they got rid of the bag person.
Yeah.
Then they got rid of the actual bags.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of the tellers, the cashiers.
Yeah, the cashiers.
What's next?
Yeah, exactly.
Tesla robots.
Well, so it creates a lot of user frustration because like putting items in the bagging area, there's been so many times where there's like random errors and I have to call someone over. They're helping somebody else out. Then you're frustrated because there's only one person helping 6 people.
Well, we want convenience. It's more inconvenient than not.
Well,
right?
the thing is that also, maybe you not as much, but I'm pretty social, right? So like,
I only speak on the podcast.
I actually enjoy the social interactions with human beings, right? You're removing human beings from the equation. Yeah, you're looking at a machine, right? It's just another time in the day where you would normally talk to somebody, and somebody up there has removed that instance.
So part of your day is to go talk.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that, okay, so Paul,
at Fortinos.
You get up, instead of calling people, you text them. Okay, so there's one talking communication removed from your day, right? Multiple ones with multiple people. Yeah. Okay, then you go to the bank and there's no tellers anymore. You got to go to a machine, so there's another interaction removed. Yeah. Okay, you go to the store.
Okay, so here's okay.
Everywhere you go.
No, so the point is this: that you're saying that with all this social stuff out there, it's becoming less social.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all these
it's
hype about social media.
Yeah.
And again, they're removing tellers, they're removing cashiers, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not social anymore.
No.
It's anti-social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Right? It makes no sense. right? If I go to the mall, I'm not going to ask someone where a store is. I'm either going to check my phone or I'm going to check they got something set up.
Yeah,
you touch the screen and you go from
Nobody
there.
wants to ask anybody anything anymore.
No.
Right? And as soon as people start to talk to somebody, they're, whoa, somebody's communicating with me.
Yeah.
What do I do? What do I say?
So my final question on this topic, Paul, is will there be a day where we walk into a restaurant and we cook our own burgers too?
Like, we kind of have restaurants like that, don't we?
But it's funny because it's coming or it's already here, and somehow
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, okay. But I'm saying Korean barbecue, but that's a thing that's always been around, right?
But that's a first step.
Okay, but here's the funny thing. We're going to do it, and somehow we're going to be convinced that it's normal or okay.
No, then we're going to pay for it when you can do it at home.
Yeah, and we're going to walk out of the place, and we're going to be like, well, at least we were out.
It'd be like this. Hey, Joel, let's go to that new burger store. Yeah. You know what? Can you cook my burger for me?
Yeah. Right?
Why don't you just come over to my house?
Right? Because they're going to sell it as an experience.
Yeah, that's what they're selling experiences.
Yeah.
But they're making you do it.
Yeah, they're making you do it.
You're paying for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Right? So again, they're going to convince you that it's normal or it's okay. And we, like the sheep that we are,
100%,
are going to just follow along. Yeah. Hey, I heard.
Amazing.
Did you see that post on Instagram? Yeah. Somebody went to this place. They made their own burger. It was amazing. Oh yeah, was it their backyard? No. They paid $50 to enter.
Yeah, to enter. Yeah. So you're paying entrance fees.
Yeah, exactly.
And for them to clean up.
All right, Paul. Anyway, topic 4. Whatever happened to humility? Remember when doing a good deed meant not telling anyone about it? Now it feels like if you help an old lady cross the street and you don't post about it,
you got to record it.
Did it even happen?
Yeah. So there's a lot of influencers, whatever, quotations, that they make fun of these people.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
What do you mean they make fun of these people?
Like, no, not the good deed.
Okay.
But some of them are... Okay, some of them are genuine.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, you're recording, you want to gain a following because of the, the righteousness of it, whatever it is, right? But some of them do it for attention.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe most of them do, right? And there's a lot of other influencers that do a clip of them doing this good deed, and then they clip back to like themselves acting out like the funny version of it.
Okay.
Because it's like, here's an example. Okay, like somebody helping somebody on the street, and then everybody's crying, right?
Yeah.
So the caption is, "Don't forget the camera."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So they're making fun of it.
So they're making fun of it, saying like, you're doing this good deed, which should be anonymous.
Yeah.
Right. That's the proper way to do it, I think, anyway. And it's like, okay, wait, let's set up the camera first, and then you can start crying.
Yeah.
Like that's not,
I know.
So that's. I don't know if anything's real. Like, I think everything's set up.
That was one of my talking points.
Because
it's like it makes you wonder what's real and what's set up. These days.
And you can't tell because we're just watching it as if it's happening in real time.
Yeah.
But somebody's filming it.
Yeah.
There's somebody behind the camera.
Exactly.
There's somebody editing it.
Yeah.
There's a plan in place on what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So is that really something good? I don't know.
It's like social media's become a validation loop. Right?
Yeah.
So it's platforms have turned us into performers. Good deeds are broadcasted with hashtags like just trying to inspire.
Yeah.
Right? But who's it really for?
Yeah. Even those influencers that are trying to do like there are some good ones like Mel Robbins and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, or Jay Shetty, let's say.
Yeah. Okay, but those people are doing podcasts.
Yeah, but they're more... They're legit, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, people may have opinions on that too.
Yeah.
But anyways,
yeah.
But some of them are like, I watched this one guy where he makes fun of them because it's like, I made $50 million in a month and whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, why not $100 million?
Yeah.
Why not $5 billion,
$1
trillion, right? And it's so funny because it's, what are people talking about?
Well, a lot of these podcasters or these people that have these YouTube videos, they start with that, right? It's like, look at me, I got 50,000 followers, right? Yeah. It's the rise of like a self-praise culture.
It is, and everybody's an expert, but they're not at all experts.
Yeah.
They just claim themselves to be.
they're constantly patting themselves on the back, right?
Yeah.
Like my thing has always been like surgically remove your right hand from your left shoulder, right? Like I hate people that are because people are constantly going around saying, "Hey, like look how good I am." Like you know, let me post this picture.
But it's hard not to, because social media is kind of listen, I have a not a struggle with it, but I have a thing about it where it's like everywhere it's like, oh, you have to post on social media. You have to do this. You have to do that. But why? Yeah. I don't get it. Like I like doing the podcast and talking about real stuff because this is not fake stuff. We're giving our opinions on things. We're not saying, do this, do that, which some people are. Yeah. Most people are. But it's what are people doing? Like, do I need to show what I ate today? I've done it before too. Yeah. Because I thought, I should show what I ate because it's good for what is it good for?
It's a blurred line, right? It's like a blurred line between sharing and bragging. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's like performative empathy and charity, right? So it's like if you're actually like, so if you're giving money to the homeless, right? But then you're filming yourself giving money to the homeless. Yeah. Well, the thing is that
you want a reaction.
The solution is great. The homeless person's getting money no matter what. But right. the end is the same, but how you got there is different.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Like you could just give somebody money on the street.
Yeah.
And right? Not film it and not show whatever is going on, right? In the background.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it, right?
Now it's like,
but if you're trying to get you're trying to help a homeless guy in the street and you're like, okay, let's film it so that just make sure he has an emotional reaction to it. Like now you're putting that person in need
into your script. You're putting them into a script.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like back in the day, I just remember like people just wanting to be decent human beings because that's like what you want to do.
People can't do something anymore without them telling other people that they did it or posting it online. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
They have to. It's like, what's the point of doing something nice if I'm not, I guess, bragging about it online?
Yeah.
So,
let's talk about like topic 5, Paul. People can't focus anymore.
That's a big one.
Are they losing the ability to pay attention?
Yes.
I would say we're officially a goldfish society. 8-second videos, 5-second ads, and if something doesn't grab us right now, we're swiping.
It's true. It's true. How many rabbit holes have you gone down on social media? Yeah. And after you sit and you're like, well, what am I doing? Can I be like outside? Like yesterday, an example.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a beautiful day outside, 35 degrees over here.
Yeah, really hot.
Really hot. And I'm like, okay, let me try to do something active, right? But everybody's on their phone.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? It's more interesting to go on your phone now to see other people doing things and wanting to do other things.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it yourself.
Yeah.
What kind of...
My nephew had friends over yesterday at my sister's house. They were going to go for a swim. It's like 4 or 5 boys. They all sat down like right outside the pool and just about to get into the pool. And like all of them were on their phones. So
and there's a pool in front of them.
Yeah, but they just got there, and they were probably on their phones with each other before. Now they're in person with each other,
and they don't want to talk.
And instead of talking, they're on their phone.
Right? I know it's terrible. I don't know what's going to happen with that kind of thing. It's you have to kind of discipline the kids, but you got to discipline yourselves too.
The adults are just as bad.
They're probably worse because they have the freedom to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling them that they can't do
it. Exactly. Right. And then the kids are upset. They're like,
the kids are upset, but you did it, and they follow what you do.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm talking from experience. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's hard not to.
It's hard not to.
You have to take it upon yourself to catch yourself and make the change.
Especially because we've talked about this before, but social media itself is it's kind of like it's a falseness to it because everybody's promoting their successes.
Yeah.
Okay, some of them are like real and raw and whatever, and people follow those people more, I think. But the people who are like, look at my Lamborghini, meanwhile they rented the Lamborghini, they rented the house. Like, come on, get a life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody's falling for that, but they are.
Yeah, they are.
And they all want it, but they don't want to do anything to get it.
Exactly.
So it's kind of, I don't know.
It's like kind hard of work or hardly working.
Right. Or hardly working, right? And nobody wants to work, but they all want to have whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's part of the thing about the attention too, right? And so like for me, I feel like for example, we're moving from like movies and watching sports to like micro content.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So everything's a recap or highlights.
Yeah.
Can anyone even sit and watch a 3-hour movie anymore?
No, if you want to watch a movie or the game, let's say, you just go to the highlights.
Yeah.
That's it. Or the clips of the movie.
So like I'll give you an example, right? So Squid Game came out, right? And like I'm not gonna promote it, right? It's kind of gruesome. It's like something I think most people shouldn't be watching because it's pretty crazy content. But like, you know, so like a couple of people I know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, most of like the content was spoiled to me on TikTok. So then it's like, what's the point of even watching it? Right. I'll just watch highlights.
Yeah.
Right. They don't want to invest the time in watching like the whole buildup of what happens. They just want to see the crazy thing that happens.
Yeah,
that's it. So that they could talk about it with someone.
Dopamine hit.
Yeah.
You see like, oh, it's great. Yeah. And then you crash.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But even like YouTube, it was all long form content. Yeah. They saw the market though. Yeah. They saw the attention span of people.
Yeah.
The habits of people. They said, let's make shorts.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is.
So like my question is like, how is this going to impact learning and teaching? Because like, for example, I'm competing with TikTok as a teacher. How do I teach a full idea in a world that's built on 15-second dopamine hits?
Yeah. And what TikTok was the worst because it's so fast, right?
Yeah.
And then they I think they started the trend. So then they got the reels that happen on Instagram and then YouTube shorts and everything, right? But the thing is like on TikTok, to save themselves or to save their thing, they say, oh, there's a section of it's a STEM section, science, technology, engineering, math. So if I don't know if everybody has it yet on the app, there's a section at the top, a tab. It says STEM. You click it, it's all learning. Stuff.
Learning.
Who actually goes to that? How many times have you? I checked it out just by accident. I pressed it. I'm like, what is this? And somebody's talking about like
I don't think
Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Next.
Yeah.
Let me see a car.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because that's what I'm saying, right?
They're trying to do
it. The problem is that like when it comes to learning, right? Like depending on what you're learning, you need longer times and longer attention to learn it.
Yeah.
Not everything can be entertaining.
No.
There's going to be stuff that kids are going to have to learn for us to be able to move forward as like a society. For them to take over jobs like law jobs and things like that, where they're going to have to actually learn it.
But here's the thing: they want a quick way to learn it.
Yeah.
But they're not retaining it.
Well, like that's my next thing is like my question is that like, so like we're consuming more than ever, but how much is being retained?
Probably 20%, maybe not even.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's the entertaining thing that's being retained.
It's not like a jingle.
It's not, hey, I learned how to do that math problem in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, unless that's what you're focusing on in life, but I look at some of that stuff before too. I don't remember half of it. I don't remember any of it, to be honest. But the only way that I used to remember things is you write it down, you read it out loud,
exactly.
You review it, you like that's it.
A human being taught you to do that,
right? So who's doing that now?
Nobody.
Yeah, that Instagram, TikTok, that's great.
Yeah.
I just want the answer.
Yeah.
And now let's just ask ChatGPT for the answer.
Yeah.
It must be harder in school too. I mean,
it's crazy.
There's tools to, I guess, figure out if it's a ChatGPT answer or not.
Yeah.
But even my daughter, she writes it herself.
Yeah.
It's written amazingly.
Yeah.
It's the grammar's great. Everything's good. She's like, I don't want to hand it in because I'm worried they're going to say it's ChatGPT. I'm like, but it's not.
You know what though? That's really frustrating to me because I take pride. I take pride in writing stuff. Like when I write emails to people, when I write like cards, when I write notes to people, I take pride in like being very professional if I need to be professional, whatever the thing is. And people have always said that about me. They're like, oh, that was very thoughtful. Like example, like even like me and you, like writing speeches for each other, like for writings and stuff like that. We take pride in our creativity, right? And so now someone actually once said to me as a joke, they're like, okay, was that you or was that ChatGPT? And I got offended.
Yeah, because that's what people think now.
Yeah.
The kid in the last year, the kids have, between social media and the AI, it's like I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
It's rare that a student or a kid excels now.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just kind of, how do you know that they're smart?
Exactly. And you know what's really telling too is from just before COVID, which is before we had like ChatGPT stuff, right? I had a grade 6 class, and I had all their writing saved on my computer. And this year I was teaching grade 8, and I took a sample writing and I read it to my class, and they're like, "Oh my God, sir, that's amazing. That's incredible. Oh, that's probably ChatGPT." I'm like, no, that's a grade 6 kid.
Yeah, see?
And they were freaking out because they're like, "We can't write like this, and we're in grade 8."
And because they think that way, they assume they're gonna just use that tool.
Yeah. They don't have the confidence. So like, instead of improving myself.
And a lot of them are like, "Well, I just have AI. I don't have to learn." Yeah, good luck.
It's sad. But
I don't know. Maybe they don't.
Paul, it's sad. But like, you know, the other sad thing is that I'm feeling that like people are being burnt out from overstimulation.
Oh, that's for sure.
Like, like they're constantly on screens. Like used to be like see kids tired at night because they were like outside all day, which is my next topic actually. Right. But like now they're tired because they went from like their phones to their iPad to PlayStation to watching a quick YouTube video. Right. So they're exhausted.
They're exhausted, and actually that's a good point. They're exhausted.
Yeah.
They're tired all the time.
Yeah.
They're sitting down all the time. There's no physical exertion anymore.
Yeah.
There's no difficulty. Let's just say that. Yeah. And it's just going to get, I was going to say there's a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe I mentioned before, a cartoon or a CGI or whatever it is, where it's the future. And everybody is, I forgot the name of the movie.
Yeah.
We'll probably figure it out. But they start the movie by showing lazy people. Yeah. Everybody's lazy and they're all fat.
Yeah.
They're all huge.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting down, and the chair that they're on is just carrying them everywhere.
Oh my God. That's
and they're
crazy.
doing stuff that way.
Yeah.
And they have screens in front of them, and it's just like hover chairs going everywhere. And that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
And there's these massive individuals. It's a cartoon. I forgot what it's called, but maybe somebody out there knows.
But how far off are we from that?
I don't know, right? Now, we on social media, there's a lot of you're promoting a culture of also fitness, right?
Yeah.
So it's the extremes.
Yeah.
Right? You got the morbidly obese, and then you got the extremely fit.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, who am I?
Who's right? Going to win that battle?
Who's going to win that battle? Nobody.
Social media
it's a losing battle.
So that kind of ties into my next topic, my second last topic. So the next topic is kids outdoor play. Do kids even play outside anymore? Remember when we used to leave the house in the morning, bike around, play road hockey, and only come back when the street lights came on? Where did that go?
Back into their phones.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only people I see outside lately are kids outside once in a while.
Yeah.
But they're playing like soccer if they're in a league.
Yeah.
Something like that. Some kids maybe on bicycles here and there, but not nearly like they used to.
I feel like if kids are on bikes, it's because there's a purpose. Like they either have to go to a friend's house or go to the convenience store.
They're not just riding around.
Yeah, they're not just riding along. They're just not riding around just because, hey, I got a bike. I want to go for a bike ride.
I go for a bike ride. Yeah. No, it's outdoor. Listen, I don't spend time outdoors either.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Right. We used to do that too.
Yeah.
All the time outside. Now inside, because it's more convenient to sit inside and look at the screen and what other people are doing.
Yeah.
It's bad, right? I mean, we go for walks once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, the extreme heat sometimes is a factor,
help.
but that's just an excuse. Because what about the days?
Excuses.
Right. What about the days that are not that hot?
Even so the reason why I even question this is like how much of this also is the parents, right? Like I think there's a level of like helicopter parents, like overprotective. Like we hear about all these dangers now that maybe before we used to not hear about because like we wouldn't have our phones telling us. Like there's that guy on Instagram that's watching everybody.
Yeah, not on Joel's watch. Everybody's paranoid.
Everybody's paranoid about something.
Yeah. Like it's look, we're going on a trip to Rome.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at videos now. It's like I don't want to go anymore. Because pickpockets, crowding,
but that's always been there.
Scams, it's always been there. But now it's like in your
heightened.
face, and it just go down this rabbit hole again of, oh man, and then I'm buying things to prevent it from happening, and like I have like a body storage thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I gotta like lock it.
Yeah.
My phone has to be attached to my wrist.
So
it's crazy.
Paul, you know what I call that? I call that mission accomplished.
Yeah.
The media, what they wanted to sell is fear and products.
Yeah. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we're afraid and we bought products.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
They won.
Right? Well, exactly, right? And the thing is like, okay, you go somewhere like camping, whatever, the bear's always been there.
Yeah. Right. But then if you see 100 bear videos of like mauling people, you're not going to go anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You're going to stay home.
Right? Nothing's changed with that, right?
Media's like
there's always been bad people out there that are going to do bad things, right? Yeah. Now, the difference is that someone tapes the bad thing happening.
Puts it in your face.
And because like 90% of society sees it, then it becomes a huge thing. And it's like, oh, this is happening all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always happening.
It was always happening, yeah.
Yeah.
Just it's in your face, like you said, right?
Yeah.
It's like, here it is all the time, every day. And you're looking for it.
Yeah.
It's like, let me see what this thing is so I can prevent it from happening. Yeah, right.
But the other question too is that like is like complaining about kids like not playing outdoors enough. Is this just generational? Like, are we just old? Do we need to get with the times?
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Right? Like,
no, I think
is outside overrated all of a sudden?
I think that it's still the fact that they stay inside more. I honestly do.
Yeah,
like I don't see half of the stuff that we used to do outside. I was never inside.
Yeah.
Never. And now they're never outside. Right? So
I and the last thing I want to say about this is I think part of it is overscheduling too. Right? Because like it seems like everything has to be scheduled, right? It's no longer like a random door knock, right? So like for example, like if I'm in the neighborhood and I just like stop my car here where Paul's house is and I come up to the door on a Saturday afternoon and knock on his door, Paul's going to be shocked.
I'm going to say, who's at my door?
Why didn't you call or text
Why don't you call me? I'm not ready for that.
Yeah. I'm like, like if I was at the door and I'm like, Paul, you know what? I was driving by and I'm like, I want to go for a run. Let's go for a run.
Yeah, right.
You'll be like, what are you talking about?
What? Run?
Did you
I got to look at some videos.
No, but you know what I mean? Like back in the day, it was just like
it's like, all right, let's go.
You just kind of like I know that it's probably even like again overscheduling responsibilities, etc. Remember how often you'd be just driving somewhere and I call you and you'd be like, I'm going for a drive. You want to come? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, right.
And we just do it.
When has that happened lately in the last years?
You have to schedule it.
You have to schedule it.
Right.
It's like, oh, let me check. Yeah, I can go between these times.
Yeah.
Okay, come over now.
Yeah.
No, I'm outside.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna happen. Come back.
And the thing is that it kind of sucks because it has nothing to do with the people and them not wanting to be with each other and hang out. It's just that you're overwhelmed with
you're so like anxiety, depression, all that stuff that you don't want to do it because that's what social media has done to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easier to not do something.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to do something adventurous. I'm just going to sit here because it's comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah. So my last topic has to do also with social media, Paul. So social media affection, genuine or for show?
I don't know what that is.
Like, for example, happy birthday to the love of my life, my best friend, my ride or die.
It's for sure.
Posted at 7 a.m. with a photo dump and heart emojis. We've all seen it, but who's it really for?
It's for show.
Yeah.
Because why would you do it otherwise? Why would you post it in general? Period. End of story. Like, why would you post it if you don't want a reaction from it?
Well, okay, so like, is that person not going to get the happy birthday unless they see it there?
Yeah, my point.
Yeah.
Right?
Like if they're your ride or die, aren't you riding with them right now?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe you're dying with them.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, especially early in the morning, right? Like,
who are you trying to show? The person next to you or
So you wake up, let's say you wake up and like, you know, it's your significant other and like they're right beside you, right? So instead of like, I don't know, waking them up with like breakfast or a kiss or whatever, you're like, I gotta post my social media thing saying happy birthday.
Maybe that person doesn't want to be posted on.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Well, right?
Like is there an expectation? Like, so for example, like is there an expectation where like the person on the receiving end is like, why hasn't my significant other posted a happy birthday wish to me?
Hey, listen, some relationships, maybe it's like that.
Yeah.
You never know, right? I mean, I'm not. I don't really care.
Like, is it genuine, or is it like an obligation post?
Because of the social media, the way it is and what we've talked about, it's definitely an obligation post, or it's a reaction post.
Yeah.
There's no need for it at all.
Yeah. And then,
especially if you have a public profile
that
everybody, then it's definitely for reaction.
Yeah.
Right? I mean.
But don't you feel pressured when you see like a happy birthday post or something, like you have to
it's like, oh, I should have done that.
Like,
I should have posted it.
So like, I'm going to give you an example. Right? So I'll take Paul as an example. So let's say like someone posts a happy birthday to Paul, right? So I see it on Instagram.
Thank you.
Right? So I see it on Instagram, right? So right now I have to stop and think. Like, I'm a good friend of Paul's. I'm going to call him and wish him happy birthday on the phone.
Right.
Because that's how I operate. Okay. So like, but then in that moment, something crosses my mind. It's like, somebody that's looking through these posts is going to say, hey, like 17 people said happy birthday to Paul, but Joe's not one of them. Like, hey, I wonder if they've got beef.
Yes.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
let them think that.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
what's
let them, Paul. I like the fact they said let them.
No, but it's true, though.
I know.
Because
it's true.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But I see your point, though.
But it comes
like, oh, everybody reacted, and I didn't.
Yeah, but why?
Maybe I should have. Maybe no, but why have? How do they know that you didn't call me?
Yeah, that's not the way I communicate with Paul.
Why does it have to be a public statement?
Yeah,
it's the truth, right?
Well, it's 100%.
It's not just for that; it's for anything. You post something, it's like, why do I? Who cares?
Well, because
who reacts to it?
If they are the love of your life, aren't you seeing them like, I don't know,
every day?
Now,
today?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's why it doesn't make sense.
So why? Yeah, it's.
Some people are gonna think otherwise on this, but you should do it, because if you don't react to it, then other people are gonna. But then you're worried about what other people are thinking all the time.
It's constant.
And that's a problem that you have.
Yeah.
Right?
So those were our 7 topics, Paul. Before we say goodbye, I think like we also have to always make sure that everyone knows where to find us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Lost Art of Conversations, and on Twitter at Lost Art of Convo. Before we leave, maybe we should also encourage each other and everyone out there to try doing maybe like one thing for someone else this week, and just don't tell anyone about it.
Let's see if that happens.
Yeah, exactly. So as always, we thank you for losing yourself in our conversations. Until next time, I'm Joe.
I'm Paul.
See ya.